This is what I would do if I was the Detroit Lions GM this offseason. You have 8 draft picks. You have a first, a second, a fourth, 2 fifths, 2 sixths, and a seventh. You're $9 million over the cap, but there's plenty of contract, plenty of money that can be converted. The Lions need secondary help. The Lions desperately need secondary help. Jamel Dean instantly. Don't even try to draft a corner. Clearly, you can't do it. Jeff Okudah stunk. Terrion Arnold stinks. Maybe you can draft her. Either way, I think I'd rather draft an interior defensive lineman, or if because I just think the floor is higher for those interior defensive lineman guys. And if you are Detroit, you want guys that can produce instantly. I'm talking Caden McDonald out of Ohio State. Or you're losing Alex Anzalone. If Sonny Styles reaches you at 17, I think that's the play as well. I haven't done my homework on the top corners in this draft yet, but off the vibes I'm getting from other people talking about these corners, Jerome DeCoy coming off of an injury, and the corner from LSU, high ceiling, low floor. So like, if you're a team like Detroit, sign a guy in Jamel Dean who has proven to be a top 15 corner in this league. Pair him up with DJ Reed. Then you have Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph, one of the best safety tandems in the NFL when they're fully healthy. I think the secondary is stout. Plus, you still have Terrion Arnold there as a CB3. That's not bad. You're losing Alex Anzalone. You're losing Al-Makwi Muhammad. Let's bring in Calais Campbell. Let's bring in another edge rusher, whether it's a Joey Bosa, whether it's a Hassan Reddick, who's a situational pass rusher but can get after the quarterback, whether it's a Odafe Oweh, even though that might be steep of a price tag for a team in cap hell right now. But Calais Campbell, 1 year, $10 million, get it done. He was a top 5 defensive tackle in the NFL last year. He had like 20-something pressures at 39 years old. Get him in here, put him next to Aleem McNeil, Aiden Hutchinson, Marcus Davenport, a Hassan Reddick, or a Joey Bosa, and we're moving here on the defensive line. Draft a Jacob Rodriguez or Aiden Fisher in the mid to late rounds to fill in that Alex Anzalone spot. Aiden Fisher is a guy that I am just falling in love with in this draft process, and he's projected like a 6th, 7th round pick. He's a guy, he was Indiana's linebacker last year. I'm pretty sure he was a green dot for one of the best defenses in the country, and he's projected like 6th, 7th round pick. Maybe I got to do more homework on his measurables. Maybe he's just not big, fast, and strong like the way a Rodriguez is or a Sonny Styles is. But this guy was one of the best off-ball linebackers in the country last year, and we're projecting him as a 7th round pick because he went to JMU for a couple of years. That doesn't seem fair to me. He's a guy I want the Jets to take in the late round. He's a guy you should want your team to take in the later rounds. I'd take him in the 5th, the 4th, or 5th, or 6th. He's projected in the 7th. Aiden Fisher, need him. The Lions might need some off-ball linebacker help. But if you picture this defense, if you're a Detroit Lions fan, just walk with me here for a second. Aleem McNeil next to Calais Campbell next season. Aiden Hutchinson, Marcus Davenport, Joey Bosa, Hassan Reddick, situational pass rushers. Jack Campbell, Jacob Martinez, or also on the defensive line, a rookie like Caden McDonald, who I think is a beast. Jamel Dean, DJ Reed, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph. That sounds like a pretty damn good defensive unit. Now, offensively for Detroit, the only issue was on the interior of the offensive line. I mean, Tate Ratledge was solid last year. He's only 24 years old. He's going to get better. He's a beast. Christian Mahogany fucking sucks. That guy is garbage. 6th round rookie. Keep him on the roster as a depth piece for the interior of the offensive line. Good news though. And Graham Glasgow also stunk, but he was playing center. He was good as a guard. This is a really, really good offensive guard free agency class in terms of veteran offensive guards hitting the market. Isaac Smalu was a top 5 guard in the NFL last year in pass block win rate and run block win rate. He is a stud. If I am the Lions, I'm sending that guy a bag. I think he's one of the best free agents to hit the open market. He's just 32 years old, right? So you're going to sign him a 1-2 year deal, whatever. Also, first overall pick could be the interior offensive lineman from Penn State. Forgot to mention that. That's who they could also target him and then just go with, like I said, everybody I said from free agency on the defensive side of the ball. But I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name. Really hard name. Either way, Isaac Samalu, right guard. Joe Bitonio, reunion with Kevin Zeitler. There's so many good guards. Wyatt Teller. Like, there's so many good guards on the open market where they can sign them. They can address the interior offensive line spot. Because this was a Lions rushing attack that went from 6th last year, or 6th in 2024 to 16th in 2025. Jared Goff got sacked 7 more times in 2025 than he did in 2026. We need to address the interior offensive line. It's not their fault that Frank Ragnow his hamstring was and he had to retire. Like that's not the Lions' fault. I'm just, like that's very unfortunate. All pro center. That sucks. You're gonna take a hit. You're gonna see a hit. But we have this is things are breaking well for Detroit. I think they'll be back. They're going to be playing on a 4th place schedule next year. That's not a 4th place team. 3rd place schedule. 3rd place schedule. Did the Vikings finish ahead of them? Because the Vikings won a bunch of meaningless games at the end of the year, didn't they? I'm gonna look like I don't know ball here. Oh boy, 3rd in the no shit. So they're going to be on a 4th place schedule, and their biggest weaknesses, in my opinion, are corner and interior offensive line. The way this free agency class is breaking, those are the 2 deepest positions. The Lions are in a position here, and they got plenty of. They're $9 million over the cap. Convert all of Goff's contract to a bonus. You free up $25 million. And that's just Goff's contract. There's plenty of money to be converted. They can make room to bring in an interior offensive lineman, Isaac Samalu, bring in a Jamel Dean, bring in a Calais Campbell, bring in a Joey Bosa and/or Hassan Reddick, or even a lower end, a cheaper rotational edge rusher. They're gonna be just fucking fine. They have the tools, and the cards are breaking in a good way for Detroit to fill in their biggest positions of need. Also, they have a pretty decent draft pick, in which I'm thinking is becoming a pretty deep defensive draft, especially at the positions of need for the Detroit Lions, which is going to be off-ball linebacker as well. And I think this is a really, really deep off-ball linebacker class, and losing Alex Anzalone. But they also have Jack Campbell. Like, it's not like you're going to see that big of a fall off. And middle linebacker is like the least valuable position on a defense. Incorrect. Safety is. But after safety, it's middle linebacker. Like, you can find guys that can tackle. You can't. Look at Devin White. He led the league in tackles last year. That guy was basically out of the league 3 years ago, right? So I think the Lions are in a really good spot. 8 draft picks too. They've drafted very well historically. They keep just finding guys. They develop guys well. Tough schedule for them last year. Frank Ragnow retires. Kevin Zeitler leaves. You had a 6th round rookie playing guard. He stunk. These things happen. I think the Lions are going to be just fine, and I hate the narrative that Dan Campbell's getting, like, oh, he might be on the hot seat this year. Do we forget the team that Dan Campbell inherited? Dan Campbell should have the longest leash out of any coach in the NFL. I don't care that he blew a 17-3 lead or whatever it was in the NFC Championship game. I don't care. Where that Detroit Lions team was before Dan Campbell got there and where it is now and the heights that they've reached, I think they are good enough. I think Dan Campbell is a good enough coach to get back there. He just lost his offensive coordinator, who turned out to be a pretty good guy, pretty good offensive mind, in Ben Johnson. He lost his all-pro center. He lost Kevin Zeitler. His defense has not been able to stay healthy for 2 straight years. Yeah, and Jared Goff's his quarterback. No disrespect to Jared Goff. Great regular season player. You throw any type of pressure in this guy's face, and he shrinks up into a little ball. Okay? I'm done with any type of Dan Campbell slander that I've been hearing recently. That guy is a fantastic coach. And as a Jets fan who wants a great coach, I would do anything for Dan Campbell to be the coach of the New York Jets. So, and I don't think it's not even coming from Lions fans. It's just coming from outside media noise that are just trying to get talking points here. Dan Campbell, he goes for it too much on 4th down. At least he's set in his ways. Like, at least you know what you're getting, and he's not going to switch. He believes in execution more than analytics. That's the type of coach I want. I don't think this Lions team's going anywhere. I believe in Dan Campbell. Hit that like button, subscribe. I'm fixing every team. I'll talk to you guys later.